Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to you here at AfriRise. And today I have a very interesting video for you. It's all about making a chicken feeder from a rotten or a very old papaya tree that has fallen maybe in your compound or one that you've collected. There are a variety of trees with the hole also at the middle you can use, but for us we're using a papaya tree to make a chicken feeder. And it's very easy, simple, you can do it at your home and you just need a very few items. You need a dozen of nails, you need the papaya tree, you need a panga and a plank of wood, just simply that. And now let's go ahead and make a chicken feeder from a papaya tree. You also need a hammer. I didn't show you a hammer, that's also my mic. Uh, so now let's go straight into it. And the very first thing you do is to cut your pawpaw stem or stalk. You can just cut any size depending on how many chicken you're intending to feed. You just use your panga, simple, and cut it all through. And you can see it's hollow inside. I can see from here. And from here now, what you do is cut along the stalk and cut a very thin line, because the goal of this feeder is to ensure that your chicken do not get into the feeder and try and scrap on the feed and make a lot of it go into waste. You cut just using your panga simply down, or if you have any other sharper and more a tool that is more accurate, you can use it. But for our case, you're going to use the panga, and you just cut like that. You can pick the side that you see is easier to cut as you go down. Once you cut a small bit, you can break it like that. You keep going down up until the end. You follow that procedure up until the end. You should not use a lot of force, because the stem is quite delicate. If it's not dried, it's quite delicate and can fall off, can break off. So you go cutting down, 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 up until you get to the bottom of it. It needs quite high precision so that you do not break it. Once you cut, keep breaking. It's quite windy out here, but nonetheless, you get the job done. Once you cut, you break. And remember, the goal is to ensure that your chicken do not get into your chicken feeder. So always ensure that you're cutting uh, a very thin lining, such that only the head of the chicken gets inside and gets the feed. Now you have two pieces for one. Then you cut the rest, the other two. Thing is, you cut on one side, then you go to the other side so that it doesn't break. If you continue cutting on the same side, it will break. That's one technique. The other one is, when you're cutting wood, dry wood, you cut using this other technique. You cut with a slope this side, cut with a slope on this side, break that part. Continue downward until you get to somewhere around the middle, or just quarter way. broken, but you'll still use it. I'll show you how. It's broken but very useful. Yep, we'll use it like this. We have enough nails to use on it. Same, but if you've an electric cutter or a saw, it's easier, quite easier and more effective. Broken again. This end was a bit rotten, but it gets the job done. Now the last bit is fixing these ends on the papaya stem itself. And we have these two broken ones. You've got to know which ones to use where depending on. Now for reinforcement and making it strong, we're going to use one broken one on one side and a complete one on the other side. This end is quite small. You can just enlarge it. Yeah, better. You don't want it getting very large. And thing with these stems, once the chicken eat their feed in here, they get to eat part of the stem that is nutritious and somehow medicinal, because the papaya seeds are like dewormers to chicken, and so are the leaves. And so I suppose with that fact, the stem is also very important. Interesting. I guess we could, in fact, use a half of it. Yeah, we actually need just a half of it on each side because it's not as tall, as huge as I thought it would be. Uh, so let's just use one. That's a good idea. It's not a very good idea. Because the other thing is when I leave and use the whole of it, chicken will be. And so I just figured out that whenever I try to pull the nails on the wood, it tries and breaks every time. And so I've decided to use what I can on the sides. And I decided to use plastic. And this is a model of what I'll use on the side. That size for this one specifically. I'll attach it here with pins just so that feed does not get wasted. And these pieces of wood, I'll use them as stabilizers on the ground like this. I'll place them on. I'll place the feed on them and make it quite stable. Now let me show you how I've been cutting these ones. I've been using this scrap plastic and I have a very sharp, precise cutting knife. This is what I use. Just using the hand because I have the model, so I'll just place it here and using it as a guide. Sorry, I think you can't see from here. Using it as a guide, I'll just cut along and get the four pieces that I need. And maybe I'll need a smaller one on the other one, but because it will be bigger, it's quite simpler to cut it down than having a smaller one. So let's go and cut the plastics. I have quite a wide range of plastics at my disposal, so I can choose to use this one or even this one. This one is quite stronger and better for use. So just place it here using the very sharp knife, cut along. It's quite a hectic process, but we'll just get it done. And now after change of plans, we have our four plastics here, our planks of wood, and it's quite easier for plastic when you're using plastic to use these very needle-like nails. You can use them. This one I don't know how it got here. These one are more effective when you're using plastic. You can probably hammer most as many as we can in the wood, in the plastic and the stock. So let's go ahead and make the feed. The hammer got lost again. Can't find the hammer. Oh, it's here. Ah, she'll be seeing my optician very soon. This one now, you can put in as many nails as you can, so that gets so. Yeah, stuck in strong. Maybe missed one nail here. And a very effective way to reinforce it is you can use heat. You can burn on the plastic and fold it into the wood. I'll do this, but maybe I'll not show it here. But it's a very effective way to reinforce it, especially on the sides. Burn here. Make sure it's where the nails are is not burnt, and fold it on the side. It's a way of reinforcing it. We go to the other side. It's quite effective. I actually like this better. This one was cut in a funny way, or even before you nail it, you can just bend it using it. It's more effective doing it that way, so that the round shape does not, you do not export it here. The any side can be on any side. Let me move here so that you can see me better. The hammer got lost again. It's quite bright out here. It's sunny and I do not have my light glasses on, so I might get temporarily blinded by the light. You've got to be very accurate and precise on nail. Yep, actually I like this one better. And now for reinforcement, so that it doesn't get moved to the sides, I can use this one or these other ones that got broken. But for these ones, you've got to use the bigger nails. maybe a couple on each. The nailing here has got to be precise so that you do not break the stock. One on each side. I think we need a longer one, so we use this is the 3 inches one. And some parts of the stroke are rotten, so you need to be. That's why I actually didn't use that one. You need to be precise about where you place the nails. Yeah, that's but with a bit of reinforcement on this side. Yeah, pretty strong. Mm, yeah, better. Let's use this one. The longer nails, quite more effective as compared to the shorter ones. Need to be very careful that you don't hit on the stock in a matter of destroying it. Yeah, that one got in quite well. And there you go. There you have it. This is our newly made chicken feeder out of papaya stock, some plastic, waste plastic, and a tiny piece of wood. And now you can use it to feed your chicken. It's better get your feed. We had fed them earlier, maybe they're not as hungry or they didn't notice. But there you go. That's the feed. And now we're going to repeat that process with this one and the other bigger stock. Quite simple and doable, not time consuming, and very cheap. As you can see, the head of the family is already there eating and calling and the rest. It's quite sunny and maybe they are enjoying the shades there. I'm not feeding now. Yeah, they'll definitely do later. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed. And kindly, if you want us to make more of this content, give us your feedback and help us by subscribing to our channel, like this video, and share to more of your friends who are interested in farming.